I have gained over 10,000 followers over on Instagram in the past 30 days. In fact, it's more like 15,000 in the past 40 days, which is crazy. So in today's video, we're gonna be talking about how to grow on Instagram in 2023. And I'm gonna give you guys my 5 biggest tips and tricks on how I'm seeing these numbers increase. Now, real quick, be sure you guys drop this video a thumbs up and make sure you're subscribed to the channel as well. It really does go a long way for me and the channel. And then also, obviously, we're gonna be talking about Instagram in today's video. So go over to Instagram and follow your boy at JHAWK SLOG, not only to, support me, but also you're going to want to follow along with some of the things I'm going to be talking about in today's video. So you know what? Let's just go ahead and jump right into it. So first thing up is Instagram stories. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I personally think Instagram stories is maybe the best part of Instagram right now. I know for myself, if I open up Instagram, the first thing I'm going to do is click on some Instagram stories if it's from some of my favorite creators. But there's a few ways to make your Instagram stories a little bit better, a little bit more engaging, which is only going to help the entire algorithm with your Instagram account. Now, I have a general rule of I try to post about 3 to 5 Instagram stories a day minimum. Of course, there's going to be some really exciting days where I'm doing other stuff or traveling a bunch or on a shoot where there's a bunch of cool stuff happening. So those days I will post more things. But even on the slowest days or on the days where I'm just hanging out, chilling, I try to post at least a minimum of 3 Instagram stories a day. I think this kind of keeps that storyline going on your content at all times, and it keeps people interested in what you are up to. Now, a couple quick tips with Instagram stories. At least once a day, I try to have one of those engaging tools that Instagram offers. I'm talking an Instagram poll, maybe a Q&A, the emoji sticker, or my personal favorite is that slider tool. You want people to engage with your Instagram stories. If they do, that's telling Instagram that people are interested in your Instagram stories. And my theory is they push it to more people then. I will say though, if you have one of those tools in every single one of your stories, it starts to feel a little bit less genuine. Not so many people are going to engage, which then will probably mean they're going to push it to less people. So be mindful of it, but I try to have at least one of those in there a day. Another way to separate your Instagram stories from the crowd is going to be actually edit the photos that you're posting on your stories. Now, I would say over the past year, about 99% of the photos that I take that go onto my Instagram stories, I take that photo with the actual camera app on your phone because it's going to look higher quality than if you take a photo within Instagram. And then before I get it over to Instagram, I will run that photo through Lightroom Mobile and add a preset and edit that photo first to make it stand out just that much more than other people, which actually I just dropped a brand new Lightroom preset pack, which I'm super stoked on. Link down in the description below. Now, it might sound like a lot of work, but at this point, it's honestly second nature for me. I do it on every single photo that I post on stories. And since I have a couple go-to presets now, it only takes me maybe an extra 30 seconds to get an edited photo up on Instagram stories. And it really does make a big difference. It almost looks like you're taking every single Instagram story with a real camera, not just your phone. But I'm telling you, if you can win Instagram stories, you're going to win over the algorithm. So try out some of these things. Next up is Reels are still king. Now, I've actually made a few videos like this in the past talking about my Instagram growth, and I actually have a full video talking about just Instagram Reels. So I suggest you guys go check that out. I have it linked up here and down in the description below. But moving into this year, nothing has changed. Reels is still very important. If you want to see a lot of growth on Instagram, Reels is probably the best way to do that. Say goodbye to the days of being against Reels and you don't want to use it. Instagram should only be a photo platform. I'm sorry to tell you, you gotta get with the times. I think a lot of people overthink Reels and think they have to be some crazy masterpiece. And I'm definitely guilty that some of my videos on Instagram are kind of, masterpieces. They take a lot of time. They're shot with a real camera. They'll take me hours sometime to edit. But shout out to my homie, Chris Brockhurst. He's actually one that put me onto this new strategy. And that is sometimes simple Instagram Reels actually are the best option. I think TikTok changed the game for a lot of creators with simplifying their content. It seems like a lot of people these days are enjoying the less polished content where it feels much more real. No pun intended. But something me and him have talked about, and he's actually put out some content about this, is he treats Instagram Reels just like Instagram stories, basically. So he'll do a lot of these one-shot iPhone videos or just really simple Reels that are shot with just his phone. And this kind of blew my mind, and I didn't think it was honestly going to work. But over the past 2 months, I've started to implement some of these types of videos within my content. If you look back through some of my Reels, you'll see some of them are very polished, shot with a real camera, and then some of them are extremely simple iPhone videos. and you'd be surprised how close some of the numbers are on them. So that's one really cool thing to try out, but also you kind of just have to try different styles of things and see what works for you. But my biggest tip about Reels is just to not overthink it. For example, some of my photographer friends, I've talked to that are like, man, I just don't shoot much video. I don't know what to do with that. Well, there's a reason why photographers absolutely crush YouTube. People like seeing behind the scenes or their process of taking photographs. So just set up your phone over somewhere while you're taking some photos, get a couple angles, and then boom, right there's an Instagram Reel. And one way I like to think about some of these short form videos is set everything up like you're taking a photo, but just turn it into a video clip. Maybe it's just a slow zoom in, maybe it's a pan across. You get 3 or 4 of those types of clips and boom, that's another video right there. And another really good tip with Instagram Reels is you have to keep your audience engaged. And you can do that in a various amount of ways. You can have an awesome hook that kind of draws in your viewer. You can have text or caption on your screens so people want to see you finish that sentence or see what you're having to say. If you look at my content, you'll see a lot of that stuff with the text. And another big way that I help keep people engaged is not only quick cuts, that's an obvious one, but also I am a huge fan and kind of known for at this point, all of my overlays that I put on top of my short form vertical videos. I think all those things kind of add different layers to your videos. And if you combine a bunch of those on top of that, then that's kind of the perfect storm to keep people engaged in your content. Now that's actually a great tie-in to the sponsor of today's video, which is actually myself. I just completely overhauled my digital store. One is what I just talked about, and that is my overlay pack that I use for vertical videos. This is by far the most requested thing I get on any of my content. Hey, where'd you get those overlays? How'd you add that grain? What are these effects you use on your videos? Well, I'm giving you guys the keys to exactly how I do it. I'm not joking. It's exactly what I use for my content, and you guys can now get it for yourself. The other really exciting piece on my digital store right now is my brand new Lightroom preset pack. Every single photo that I'm putting out right now on any sort of platform, Instagram post, Instagram stories, like I was talking about earlier, or any other platform, I am editing my photos using one of these presets right now. But I would not waste your guys' time if I wasn't super stoked and genuinely using these products for myself. And I personally think my Lightroom presets and the overlay pack are home runs. So if you guys want to pick up either of these packs for yourself, they will be linked down in the description below. It really supports me and the channel. Please be sure to tag me if you use any of them so I can personally thank you and give you some love on your content as well. But moving on to the next tip. Next up is consistency. So for a long time, how often should you post was kind of a mystery. Should it be every single day? Should it be once a week? Should it be multiple times a week? I personally think a sweet spot is between that 3 to 5 post a week range. If you can, I think doing at least every 3rd day posting something is ideal. I personally, if I can, try to do every other day. I kind of think about it as you're trying to have the Instagram algorithm not quite forget about you. So personally for myself, if there's a day where I'm not making a in-feed post, either a photo post or an Instagram reel, maybe I'm gonna post a few more stories. That's just kind of been my strategy and I've seen it work pretty well. And a huge key to consistency for myself, because as you guys may or may not know, I'm not a full-time content creator for myself. I have a full-time creative job and I'm doing that, 40 plus hours a week. But in the past 2 months, I'm still getting a post out about every other day. And a huge reason I'm able to do that is because I've been batch shooting my content. Now this might be something I make an entire video on, so let me know down below if you guys want me to make a video about batch shooting and how I do it. A lot of times for myself, one of the biggest hurdles of creating content is the entire setup process. So what I've actually started doing over the past few months is usually 1 day a week, I will set everything up, make my office look nice, have it cleaned, get the lights out, the camera set up, and then I will just batch shoot multiple pieces of content right there. Because a lot of these vertical videos I'm doing are actually pretty short and don't take that long to film. Sometimes it takes longer just to get everything set up. So I will legit do a bunch of different outfit changes, film a few of them at once, and then that way throughout my busy week or if I'm traveling or whatever, it's a lot easier for me to just edit the videos instead of being able to, set everything up and shoot them, especially if I'm gone. So consistency, I understand it can be challenging sometimes, but there's things that you can implement to make that a little bit easier for yourself. And I think batch shooting is honestly a huge one. Next up is photography on Instagram is not dead. Now this might be my most controversial tip on this video, but I'm serious. I'm seeing actual growth in real numbers on Instagram photo posts. Now a few tips to make that happen. The first thing is they should obviously still kind of be in your niche or your niches. I'm more of kind of like a general niche guy, not like a one specific niche guy, but the photos should obviously relate to what you're doing and what your page is about, but also don't just post one photo. I personally for myself see more success if I'm posting multiple photos. I would say do at least 3 in a carousel, but I myself, sometimes I'll post literally 10. Push it to the max amount that they allow you to put in one post. It's gonna make people stick around around longer because they're going to be swiping through your different photos. Sometimes when they refresh their Instagram feed, your post will load again, but with a different photo first. And that's kind of the key with Instagram. You want people to stay on your content and on your page longer. And that's going to tell Instagram, okay, people are enjoying his content, they're staying on it longer. And so they start pushing that content out to more people. And also, if you can have a post that people are going to bookmark, save, or share, that is also really important. So a lot of people might hate on photos, but I'm telling you, I'm seeing real numbers with these, and I'll post them on the screen so you guys can't debate it, okay? Because these numbers are legit. I just wouldn't post maybe strictly photos or strictly videos. I think if you can master both, that's kind of the secret. Last but not least, stand out. I think this is maybe the most important tip here in this video. TikTok started this thing with content that everybody just copy and paste the same exact video, the same exact sound, the same exact ideas. And that almost is the normal for content these days. And although I love taking inspiration from other people, and I think that's so important, you have to figure out how to make your content stand out and how to make it feel more you. So the way I did this for myself is about a year ago, I started to implement other interests into my content. Yes, a lot of my content is about tech, camera gear, all that kind of stuff, but I started to start throwing other things into that, whether it be what I'm drinking on that day, whether it be what my latest sneaker pickup is, maybe what video game I'm playing right now. I think if you can figure out how to separate yourself from the crowd a little bit, that's the key on how to make people stay. Like, let's say, for example, my shoes are all over my office or in my content. That might be the reason to make people stay, because if they see the same type of content 10 different times in a row, they might become a little numb to it. But if on that 10th piece of content, they see something that kind of grabs their attention, like, oh wait, how'd he get those Travis Scott shoes? Or, oh man, I love Ghost Energy. Or, oh, he plays Warzone, so do I. That is the element that I think is the key to make people stick around. It makes you a little bit more personal, and it might be the reason why someone decides to follow you versus someone else. So you have to figure out what makes your content your content. What makes you, you. And for me, the dream and goal for any of my content is to just make it just a natural extension of what I'm already doing. This is what my office looks like. My shoes are here. This is what I'm genuinely drinking today. So I don't even have to think about it, but it adds all those different elements, which might be the reason why someone decides to stick around and stay on your page and hit that follow button. So guys, that is my exact strategy and my 5 biggest tips and tricks for Instagram growth right now. I'm telling you, I am beyond confident if you implement some of these things into your own content, you are going to see an increase in engagement and hopefully some numbers increase as well. And as I mentioned, I have a couple other videos on my channel talking about different strategy and tips about Instagram growth that I've learned in the past. So definitely go check those out. And again, tag me if you download any of my digital products, use them and implement them in your content. But guys, that's going to be it for me in today's video. I hope you enjoyed watching. If you did, will you please drop this video a thumbs up? If you're new around here, consider subscribing. It really helps me and the channel out. But I will catch you guys in the next video very, very soon. Peace, guys. I just got this tattoo like this week and it's still raw. So I've been trying not to sit my arm down this entire video. So hopefully I didn't look stupid this whole time. Peace out.